So started with lecture. In previous lecture we starting with aphorism number 172 to 184, and these aphorisms are related to one-sided diseases. As we know the classification of diseases, that is dynamic diseases divided into acute diseases and chronic diseases. So chronic diseases mainly divided into two, that is diseases having fully developed symptoms and diseases having few symptoms. So these are the aphorisms which are related to the diseases which having a few symptoms. So in this they are again divided into two types, that is one-sided diseases and local diseases. So in one-sided diseases we started with aphorism number 172 to aphorism number 184. These are related to one-sided diseases, and we know in this they explain about the definition of one-sided diseases, then types of one-sided diseases, then treatment of one-sided diseases. So in definition of one-sided diseases they explain about the diseases having too few symptoms are known as one-sided diseases, so termed because they display only one or two principal symptoms which obscures almost all others, and they belong chiefly to the class of chronic diseases. Due to very few symptoms, they are less amiable to cure. So this is the definition of one-sided diseases, and after this they mainly divided one-sided diseases into two types, that is one-sided diseases having internal complaint and one-sided diseases having external complaint. So one-sided diseases having external complaint also called as a local malady, and having internal complaint they again divided into two parts, that is yeah, symptoms related to physical body and symptoms related to mental. So in this physical internal one-sided diseases having example of headache of many years of duration, and in mental one-sided diseases they having a mental diseases, that is mania or insanity. So in this way we started with a one-sided diseases. Now after this we took the summary of one-sided diseases, that is what is given in each aphorism. After this we started with the actual explanation of each aphorism. In this we started with aphorism number 172 and finished up to aphorism number 176. Now what is given in aphorism number 172? It is a one-sided diseases and imperfect selection of simillimum. Why there is an imperfect selection of simillimum in one-sided diseases? So in this, as in prior aphorisms, Dr. Hahnemann explained cause of imperfect selection of simillimum. There are two causes. First one is lack of knowledge of disease, and second lack of knowledge of medicine. So in this, in aphorism number 172, Dr. Hahnemann has given the cause of imperfect selection of simillimum, that is in a case only few symptoms are there, ultimately we are unable to pursue what is to be cured in disease, and that is why there is an imperfect selection of simillimum due to the lack of knowledge of disease and lack of knowledge of medicine. And why this is occur in one-sided diseases? As in one-sided diseases we having only a few symptoms, and due to these few symptoms a physician is unable to pursue what is to be cured in disease, that causes the imperfect selection of medicine. So this is explaining in aphorism number 172. Then in aphorism number 173 they explain the definition of one-sided diseases. So what is the definition of one-sided diseases? We all know about it. That is, are those group of chronic diseases in which there is presence of only a few symptoms. They are very difficult to cure because they having only one to two main symptoms present in them. So this is the definition of one-sided diseases which is explaining in aphorism number 173. Then in aphorism number 172 they explain about the classification of one-sided diseases, or we call it as a types of one-sided diseases. So they divided the one-sided diseases into two, that is having internal complaint and external complaint. Internal complaint again having a physical symptoms and mental symptoms and their examples. This is explaining in aphorism number 174. Then in aphorism number 175, they explain about one-sided diseases with internal complaint. So in this they explain as to pursue what is to be cured in such diseases is quite difficult, because in such diseases only one or two symptoms are there, and if physician will not investigate such a case very thoroughly, he cannot frame out portrait of disease. That is, due to the lack of symptoms, the physician not get the idea of portrait of disease of that patient, or if physician will not investigate such case thoroughly, he cannot frame the portrait of disease, and due to this he cannot match that portrait of disease to the portrait of medicine. So this is explaining in aphorism number 175, that is one-sided diseases with internal complaint. Then in aphorism number 176 we studied as, that is careful initial examination in internal one-sided diseases. So what is the careful initial examination? That is explaining by Dr. Hahnemann in case taking. That is, if physician investigate thoroughly by taking all the directions given by Dr. Hahnemann in view only in initial examination, the one or two principal violent symptoms is able to give idea about the portrait of the disease. That is, if you have only one to two symptoms present in a patient, but you have to investigate that case carefully by the guidelines given by Dr. Hahnemann in case taking, that is a careful initial examination in the internal one-sided diseases, and in that if there is one to two symptoms, but these one to two symptoms must be a principal violent symptom, that is this symptom must be a very peculiar symptoms, characteristic symptoms, and when you got these symptoms, that you can able to form the portrait of a disease, or able to give the idea about the portrait of disease. So this is explaining in aphorism number 176. Now in today's lecture we are going to start with a next aphorism, that is aphorism number 177. So first I will read the aphorism 177. Up till now, anyone having any query regarding these aphorisms? Yes? Anyone having any query regarding these aphorisms? So, okay, we will start with next aphorism, that is aphorism number 177. In order to meet most successfully such a case as this, which is very rare occurrence, we are in the first place to select, guided by these few symptoms, the medicines which in our judgment is the most homeopathically indicated. So in this they explain about the selection of medicine in these internal one-sided diseases. How to select medicine in these internal one-sided diseases. So in such cases, although few symptoms are there, but after proper case taking, physician gets the idea of portrait of a disease which is based on few symptoms. For that, physician has to match portrait of medicine, and that is the homeopathic medicine, to the case of disease in question. That is, in such cases, up till now we form the portrait of disease, or after careful examination the physician is able to give the idea about the portrait of disease. That is, in such cases, although few symptoms are there, but after a proper case taking, physician gets the idea of portrait of disease which is based on these few symptoms. For that, physician has to match the portrait of medicine, and that is the homeopathic medicines, to the case of disease in question. So when he formed the portrait of disease, he can match that portrait of disease to the portrait of medicine. And after matching that portrait of medicine to the portrait of disease, that is the homeopathic medicines to that case of a disease in question. So this is the selection of medicine in internal one-sided diseases. That is, after proper case taking, he has to find the few symptoms, but that few symptoms must be a characteristic symptoms, peculiar symptoms, and on the basis of these symptoms he can get the idea about the portrait of a disease. And after getting the idea of portrait of disease, he can match that portrait of disease to the portrait of medicine, and by matching the portrait of disease with the portrait of medicine, he can select that medicine for that case of disease. So this is the selection of medicine in internal one-sided diseases. This is explaining in aphorism number 177. Then next aphorism is aphorism number 178. So what it explain, aphorism number 178, that is, first I will read the aphorism. It will no doubt sometimes happen that this medicine selected in strict observance of the homeopathic law furnishes the similar artificial disease suited for the annihilation of the malady present, and this is much more likely to happen when these few morbid symptoms are very striking, decided, uncommon, and peculiarly distinctive, that is characteristic. Now, the next aphorism, that is aphorism number 178, it gives the idea about the effect of a medicine selected on the basis of few symptoms. There is a chance of cure. That is, now up till aphorism number 177, we select the medicine for these one-sided diseases, that is, diseases having few symptoms. Up till aphorism number 177, we select medicine, but we exactly not known that the selected medicine is exact similar medicine or it is a partial similar medicine. So after this aphorism 177, in aphorism number 178 and 179, this is regarding the two possibilities, that is, the selected medicine may be the exact similimum or the selected medicine may be a partial similimum. So in this aphorism number 178, it is regarding the selected medicine is a exact similimum. So why it is a exact similimum? In this they explain as, that is, the effect of medicine selected on the basis of few symptoms. That is, what is the effect of medicine selected on the basis of few symptoms? That is, we selected a medicine on a few symptoms, and what is its effect? So in aphorism number 178, there is a chance of cure. Why there is a chance of cure? That is, in these group of diseases, although few symptoms are there, but if they are uncommon, peculiar, and characteristic, and for that if proper homeopathic specific remedy is selected, there is a chance of complete cure. That is, even if we have a few symptoms, but these few symptoms are uncommon symptoms, are peculiar symptoms, or characteristic symptoms, and on the basis of this we can select a proper homeopathic specific remedy, and by selecting this proper homeopathic specific remedy, there is a chance of complete cure in these few symptoms also. So this is the effect of a selected medicine on the basis of few symptoms, that is the chance of cure. There is a chance of cure. This is explaining in aphorism number 178, that is, after the selection of medicine, up till now 177 we select the medicine, but what is the effect of that medicine? That is explaining in 178 and 179. So in 178 there is a chance of cure. This is due to the, in these group of diseases, although few symptoms are there, but if they are uncommon, peculiar, and characteristic, and for that if proper homeopathic specific remedy is selected, there is a chance of complete cure. So this is explaining in aphorism number 178. Now aphorism number 179. So what it explained? Aphorism number 179. Yes, are you able to see the screen? Yes, aphorism number 179. Okay. More frequently, however, the medicine first chosen in such a case will be only partially, that is to say, not exactly suitable, as there was no considerable number of symptoms to guide to an accurate selection. So, what is given in 179, that is the selected medicine may be a partial simillimum. Why now there is a partial simillimum? As the few symptoms which are present in our hand, these symptoms may not be so peculiar, so characteristics or so uncommon. So on this basis, what the present in our symptoms present in our hand, we select a partial simillimum to that case, and when we select the partial simillimum, there is a partial cure, or we call it as a recovery. So in 179 they explain as a effect of medicine selected on the basis of few symptoms is indicated as a partial cure or a recovery. So in such cases, as few symptoms are there, it becomes very difficult to form an accurate portrait of the disease, and portrait is partial, and for that if medicine is given, we get a partial removal of symptoms, that we call it as a recovery. That is, in such cases few symptoms are there, that it becomes very difficult to form the accurate portrait of a disease, as the symptoms which are present in our hand, these are not so peculiar, characteristic or uncommon symptoms, and due to this reason we form the portrait of a disease which is partial similar to the portrait of a medicine. And if that medicine is given, we get a partial removal of symptoms. When that partial similar remedy is selected, we having the partial removal of these symptoms, and this partial removal of symptoms we call it as a recovery and not the cure. In 178 we have a chance of cure, but in 179 due to the partial similar medicine we only get the recovery of symptoms, that is only a partial removal of symptoms and not the complete cure. So this is explaining in aphorism number 179, that is we having a partial selection of remedy, and due to this partial selection of remedy there is a partial removal of symptoms which gives the recovery of symptoms and not the complete cure of the symptoms. Then next aphorism is aphorism number 180. So what it explains, that is aphorism number 180. In this case, the medicine which has been chosen as well as possible, but which for the reason above stated is only imperfectly homeopathic, will in its action upon the disease, that is only partially analogous to it, just as in the case mentioned above in aphorism number 162, where the limited number of homeopathic remedies renders the selection imperfect, produce accessory symptoms, and several phenomena from its own array of symptoms are mixed up with the patient's state of health, which are, however, at the same time symptoms of the disease itself, although they may have been hetero never or very rarely perceived. Some symptoms which the patient had never previously experienced appear and others he had only felt indistinctly become more pronounced. Now we give the medicine to the patient in 178 and 179, and we may get a complete cure or we may get a partial cure. But after this, in aphorism number 180, they explain about the appearance of accessory symptoms after the selection of medicine. That is, when we select the medicine for a one-sided diseases, in that case we having the appearance of accessory symptoms. And why we get the accessory symptoms, this is also explaining in aphorism number 162. That is, we have a less number of medicine, or there are different points that we seen in from aphorism number 162 to aphorism number 171, that is regarding the partial similar medicine. And in this we see also that is the appearance of accessory symptoms, that is after the selection of medicine in one-sided diseases belong to natural disease. So in this, the accessory symptoms may belong to the natural disease also, or it may belong to the medicine also. So in this aphorism, in aphorism number 180, they explain about the accessory symptoms after selection of medicine in one-sided diseases belong to natural disease. So in these cases, the medicine selected on the basis of few symptoms, which is only partially similar to natural disease, where only few homeopathic remedies gets indicated, as we have a few symptoms that may indicate only a few homeopathic remedies, that is explaining in 162. Such a medicine produce an accessory phenomena which belongs to natural disease, although these group of symptoms are hardly noted by the patients prior to selection of medicine, or few of the accessory symptoms appear which patients has not felt previously. So when we give that partial similar medicines to the patient on the basis of that few symptoms which are present in a hand of a physician, on the basis of this they select the partial similar medicine, and after giving that medicine there is the appearance of accessory symptoms, but these accessory symptoms are related to the natural disease, where only few homeopathic remedies gets indicated, and such a medicine produce an accessory phenomena which belongs to the natural disease, as these symptoms are related to the natural disease, although these group of symptoms are hardly noted by the patients prior to selection of medicines. That is, these symptoms are not felt by the patients prior to the selection of medicine, or few of the accessory symptoms appear which patient has not felt previously. That is, some symptoms are hardly noted by the patient, or some symptoms are there which cannot felt by the patient previously, which is the symptoms of a natural disease, and these symptoms appear after the selection of partial similar remedy. So this is given in aphorism number 180, that is after selection of medicine on a few symptoms there is a partial similar medicine, and when we give that partial similar medicines to the patient, this produce some accessory symptoms that belongs to the natural disease, although this group of symptoms are hardly noted by the patients prior to the selection of medicine, or a few accessory symptoms appear which patients has not felt previously. So this is given in aphorism number 180, that is appearance of accessory symptoms after selection of medicine in one-sided diseases belong to a natural disease, but these symptoms belongs to the natural disease, that is symptoms of natural disease. Then the next aphorism is aphorism number 181, but prior to this we will summarize these aphorisms, that is aphorism number 177, 178, 179 and 180. These four aphorisms we studied up till now. So in this, in aphorism number 177, what is given in 177, that is selection of medicine in one-sided diseases. That is how we select the medicine in one-sided diseases. That is, after careful initial examination of patient, we form the portrait of disease, and by forming the portrait of disease, we match this portrait of disease with a portrait of medicine, and we select the homeopathic medicine to the case of a disease. So this is the selection of medicine in one-sided diseases given in aphorism number 177. Then in aphorism number 178, it is regarding the, now we select the medicine. Now the effect of medicine. What should be the effect of medicine? This is explaining in 178 and 179. So in 178, it is the effect of medicine selected on the basis of few symptoms. There is a chance of cure. So there is a complete cure occur. But when this complete cure occur, that is in this group of diseases, although few symptoms are there, but if they are uncommon, peculiar and characteristic, for that if proper homeopathic medicine specific remedy is selected, there is a chance of complete cure in aphorism number 178. Then in aphorism number 179, it is the effect of medicine selected on the basis of few symptoms, that is a partial recovery or partial cure or recovery. So in this, in such cases, a few symptoms are there, it becomes very difficult to form an accurate portrait of a disease. The portrait is partial, or for that if medicine is given, we get a partial removal of symptoms, that we call it as a recovery. And in 180, we found that there is a appearance of accessory symptoms after selection of medicine in one-sided disease belongs to a natural disease. So this is up to aphorism number 180. Then next aphorism is aphorism number 181. So aphorism number 181. First I will read the aphorism. Let it not be objected that the accessory phenomena and new symptoms of this disease that now appear should be laid to the account of the medicament just employed. They owe their origin to it, certainly, but they are always only symptoms of such a nature as this disease was itself capable of producing in this organism, and which were summoned forth and induced to make their appearance by the medicine given, owing to its power to cause similar symptoms. In a word, we have to regard the whole collection of symptoms now perceptible as belonging to the disease itself, as the actual existing condition, and to direct our further treatment accordingly. So what it explains aphorism number 181, that is, in such cases if accessory symptoms although belong to medicinal disease, they should be considered as a natural disease symptoms. That is, in such cases if accessory symptoms although belong to the medicinal disease, they should be considered as a natural disease symptoms. As we know, that is, after giving that medicine, we found the accessory symptoms that may belong to the natural disease or that may belong to the medicinal disease, that is the symptoms of a medicine, but in that cases they should be considered as a natural disease symptoms. So why it is given, that is, medicine is administered to the patient, there is an appearance of new symptoms. First we administer medicine to the patient, then there is appearance of new symptoms. They studied with a view that they belong to either progress of a natural disease, but if they does not belong to the natural disease, they belong to the medicine. That is, the accessory symptoms, they may belong to the natural disease or they may belong to the, if not natural disease, they belong to the medicine. Because when we study these accessory symptoms, we come to the conclusion that they are part and partial of a picture of medicine, or we may conclude that they may be the part or a partial picture of the medicine, although they should be considered in such cases as symptoms of natural disease, as these are the symptoms of natural disease, which the disease is expected to produce, although their origin goes in a medicinal disease. As some symptoms may belong to the medicine, or these are the symptoms of medicine, but they should be considered in such cases where we have only few symptoms. In such cases we consider that as symptoms of a natural disease. The symptoms which are produced by medicine, we may consider these as a symptoms of natural disease, as these are the symptoms of natural disease which disease is expected to produce, as these may be the symptoms of natural disease which the disease is expected to produce, although there is a origin goes in a medicinal disease. As their origin may goes in a medicinal disease, but we have to consider that these are the symptoms which are related to the natural disease, and in these cases we have to study the symptoms of natural disease and accessory phenomena as one and the same, and we should be treated properly. So when we consider these are the symptoms of natural disease, we have to restudy the case, we have to recollect the symptoms, and by proper studying of these cases, or in these cases we have to study the symptoms of natural disease and the accessory phenomena as one and the same, and we have, or we should be treated properly, that is, should be treated patient properly. So this is given in aphorism number 181, that is, even though these are the symptoms which are origin in medicinal disease or which belongs to the medicine, but while treating these one-sided diseases we have to consider that these are the symptoms of natural disease, as we have to form the portrait of disease in next prescription, that is, in first we partially select the medicine. After, yes, are you able to listen? Yes, are you able to listen?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're discussing the aphorism number 181, and this is related to the in such cases means in one-sided diseases if accessory symptoms although belong to the medicinal disease, they should be considered as a natural disease symptoms while treating these one-sided diseases, as we have to form the portrait of a disease by re-examining, by re-studying the case again and again, and we have to select the proper simillimum. For this reason, even though the symptoms are the accessory symptoms which are related to the medicinal disease also, but we have to consider these symptoms as a symptoms of natural disease, and we have to retake the case, then form the portrait of a disease, and by restudying these cases we have to select the simillimum. And after this, in a next prescription, even though the selected medicine in a partial simillimum, in that case also we have to retake the case, restudy the case, and select the proper medicine. As we have only few symptoms in our hand, for this reason we have to again and again retake the case by giving the medicine and form the portrait of a disease, and we have to match that portrait of a disease with the portrait of medicine, and we have to select that proper medicine. So this is explaining in aphorism number 181, that is the medicine is administered to the patient, there is a appearance of new symptoms, they studied with a view that they belong to the either progress of a natural disease, but if they does not belong to the natural disease, they may belong to the medicine, because when we study these accessory symptoms we comes to conclusion that they are part and partial picture of a medicine, and although they should be considered in such cases as symptoms of natural disease, as these are the symptoms of natural disease which disease is expected to produce although their origin goes in medicinal disease. So in these cases we have to study symptoms of natural disease and accessory phenomena as one and the same, and we have to treat properly. Then next aphorism is aphorism number 182. So what is explaining in aphorism number 182 as, thus the imperfect selection of the medicament, which was in this case almost inevitable owing to the too limited number of the symptoms present, serves to complete the display of the symptoms of the disease, and in this way facilitates the discovery of a second more accurately suitable homeopathic medicine. So in aphorism number 182 they explain as a, that is discovery of appropriate homeopathic remedy, how to discover the appropriate homeopathic remedy, and in this they explain as, although in such cases homeopath has to select that medicine as a simillimum which is imperfect, because these diseases having very few symptoms, the medicine which selected either removes the symptoms partially or there is appearance of some new symptoms. Physicians takes the new symptom as the symptom of natural disease and form the portrait and ultimately select the proper medicine. So in that case, in physician's hand there is only a few symptoms, and although in such cases homeopath has to select that medicine as a simillimum which is imperfect, because these diseases having few symptoms, and the medicine selected either removes the symptoms partially or there is a appearance of some new symptoms, as there may be a partial recovery or there may be a appearance of new symptoms. So physicians takes the new symptoms as the symptom of natural disease and forms the portrait and ultimately select the proper medicine. So by restudying the case, by re-examining the patient, by collection of these original symptom plus partial symptom, that is accessory symptoms, he has to form the portrait of disease and he has to select the proper medicine. In that cases this is given in aphorism number 182, that is discovery of appropriate homeopathic remedy. Then next aphorism is aphorism number 183, and what it explain? Aphorism number 183. In this, whenever therefore the dose of the first medicine ceases to have a beneficial effect if the newly developed symptoms do not, by reason of their gravity, demand more speedy aid, which however from the minuteness of the dose of homeopathic medicine and in very chronic diseases is excessively rare, a new examination of the disease must be instituted. The status morbi as it now is must be noted down, and the second homeopathic remedy selected in accordance with it, which shall exactly suit the present state, and one which shall be all the more appropriate can then be found as the group of symptoms has become larger and more complete. So in this they explain as, that is what to do in such cases after appearance of new symptoms and after exhaustion of action of medicine administered. That is, if we select the medicine, that is up to aphorism number 182, we select the proper medicine. But what to do in such cases after appearance of new symptoms and after exhaustion of action of medicine administered? Means now there is a appearance of new symptoms also, and there is exhaustion of action of that medicine administered. The first medicine which we given to the patient, the action of that medicine is exhausted, and now we have a appearance of a new symptoms in that patient. So in that case the medicine is administered, the new symptoms appearance, if they are not severe, wait and watch. So what to do in that case? We have to wait and watch. That is, if the medicine is administered and there is a new symptoms appearance, and if that symptoms which appear newly or there is a new appearance of symptoms, in that case what to do? We have to wait and watch what happens to these symptoms. Now in such cases, after the exhaustion of effect of the first medicine, a fresh case taking of the patient must be done. Of remaining set of symptoms, physician has to try for proper portrait because symptoms are increased. For that, physician has to select an appropriate homeopathic specific remedy. So in that case, where the medicine is given and there is an appearance of new group of symptoms, if symptoms are not so severe, in that case we have to wait and watch, and after the exhaustion of that action of medicine, that is effect of action of that first medicine is exhausted which we given to the patient, we have to wait and watch, and after the exhaustion of that action of medicine we have to retake the fresh case, that is fresh case taking of the patient must be done of the remaining set of symptoms. Whatever the symptoms remaining in patient, we have to retake the case, and we have to try to find a proper portrait of disease, because now there is a increase in the number of symptoms now, and for that physician has to select a appropriate homeopathic specific remedy. So this is given in aphorism number 183, that is we have to select the proper medicine after the exhaustion of action of a first medicine administered, and if the appearance of new symptoms is not so severe, in that case wait and watch, and if the appearance of new symptoms is so severe, in that case we have to take the totality, and on the basis of this we have to select the medicine, or if the symptoms are so severe, in that case you may have to antidote the medicine in that cases. So this is given in aphorism number 183. And now the last aphorism, that is aphorism number 184, what it indicates, that is, in like manner, after each new dose of medicine has exhausted its action, when it is no longer suitable and helpful, the state of the disease that still remains is to be noted anew with respect to its remaining symptoms, and another homeopathic remedy sought for a suitable as possible for the group of symptoms now observed, and so on until the recovery is complete. So what is done in a 183, we have to done this is up till now the patient goes in a complete cure. This is given in aphorism number 184, that is we have to continue as previous till the complete cure occurs. So what we do in aphorism number 183, we have to continue as a previous till complete cure is done. So what the physician has done in aphorism number 183 should be continued, that is after exhaustion of action of medicine at each and every time for remaining set of symptoms, take a recase taking administered remedy, look effect and continue this till the complete cure is occurred. So the physician has to wait for a, that is after exhaustion of action of medicine at each and every time for remaining set of symptoms, physician has to retake the case, administer the remedy, look the effect of that remedy and continue this till the complete cure occur in these one-sided diseases. So these are the aphorisms which are related to the one-sided diseases from aphorism number 172 to aphorism number 184, and in this we explain mainly the what is mean by one-sided diseases, then classification of one-sided diseases and what should be the treatment of one-sided diseases. So these are the different aphorisms which are related to one-sided diseases, and after the aphorisms 184, that is from 185 to aphorism number 203, it is related to the local diseases. In this we studied about the one-sided diseases only. After this from 185 to 203 it is related to the local diseases. So all of you understand the aphorism number 172 to 184. This is related to one-sided diseases, and in this mainly covers the 3 points, that is what is mean by one-sided diseases, types of one-sided diseases and treatment of one-sided diseases. So all of you understand?
Ma'am, 184 repeat करा ना.
Yes, what is given in 184, that is you have to continue as previous till complete cure occurs. म्हणजे आपण 184 मध्ये काय करणार आहे की 183 मध्ये काय सांगितलं की जोपर्यंत आपल्याला वेट करायचं की आफ्टर एक्झॉशन ऑफ इफेक्ट ऑफ फर्स्ट मेडिसिन, म्हणजे त्याचं ड्युरेशन ऑफ ॲक्शन जोपर्यंत आहे त्या मेडिसिनचं तोपर्यंत वेट करायचं आहे. पण हे कधी हे सगळं इफ दे आर नॉट सो सिव्हिअर, दॅट इज जे काही नवीन सिम्पटम्स आपल्याला दिसतात ते जर सो सिव्हिअर नाही आहेत तर त्याच्यामध्ये आपण काय करतो, वेट अँड वॉच करतो. आणि त्या केसेसमध्ये काय करतो आपण की जोपर्यंत त्याचं ड्युरेशन ऑफ ॲक्शन आहे तोपर्यंत आपण वेट अँड वॉच करायचं. मग जेव्हा त्याचं ड्युरेशन ऑफ ॲक्शन संपतो तेव्हा परत काय करायचं, जे काही सिम्पटम रिमेनिंग आहेत पेशंटमध्ये तर ते परत आपण रिटेक केस टेकिंग करायची त्याला फ्रेशली. परत केस टेकिंग करून जे काही सिमिलर मेडिसिन येईल ते त्याला आपण पेशंटला द्यायचं आहे आणि परत त्याचा इफेक्ट बघायचा आहे. जर परत रिकव्हरी झाली, पेशंट क्युअर जर झाला तर नो प्रॉब्लेम. पण जर पेशंटमध्ये आणखी काही सिम्पटम प्रेझेंट आहेत, आपण दुसऱ्यांदा मेडिसिन देऊन पण काही सिम्पटम प्रेझेंट आहेत, मग परत तेच करायचं आपल्याला. परत त्याचं ॲक्शन कंप्लीट होईपर्यंत वेट अँड वॉच करायचं. आणि हे कशात क्रॉनिक डिसीजेस, त्याच्यामुळं जे काही सिम्पटम्स असतात ते सो सिव्हिअर नसतात सिम्पटम. त्याच्यामध्ये आपण आरामशीर वेट अँड वॉच करू शकतो की त्याचं जे काही ड्युरेशन ऑफ ॲक्शन आहे तोपर्यंत आपण वेट अँड वॉच करायचं. परत त्याच्यामध्ये जर त्या परत सिम्पटम्स दिसत आहेत तर परत रिटेक केस टेकिंग करायचं, परत सिमिलर मेडिसिन द्यायचं, परत त्याचा इफेक्ट बघायचं. आणि जोपर्यंत त्याची कंप्लीट क्युअर होत नाही आहे तोपर्यंत आपल्याला ही प्रोसिजर काय करत राहायचं आहे, रिपीट करत राहायचं. आता याच्यामध्ये जर आपण एक्झाम्पल घेतलं की सम मेंटल डिसीज आहे पेशंटमध्ये आणि त्याच्यामध्ये आपण काय केलं, त्याला एक मेडिसिन फॉर एक्झाम्पल आपण नक्सोमिका सिलेक्ट केला. पण नक्सोमिका दिल्याच्या नंतर पेशंटमध्ये काय की ॲक्सेसरी सिम्पटम्स आले, नवीन सिम्पटम्स आले आणि आपण काय केलं की जोपर्यंत नक्सोमिकाचा पिरियड आहे तोपर्यंत काय केलं, आपण वेट अँड वॉच केलं. मग जेव्हा त्याचं नक्सोमिकाचा पिरियड आता आपल्याला काहीच ॲक्शन दिसत नाही आहे तर त्यावेळी आपण काय करणार की जे काही नवीन सिमटम्स आलेत पेशंटमध्ये ते सिमटम प्लस त्याचे काही जे ओरिजिनल सिमटम असतील ते काही सिमटम रिमूव्ह होतील, काही सिमटम ॲड होतील नॅचरल डिसीजचे. पण मेडिसिन दिल्याच्या नंतर काहीतरी त्याच्या बॉडीमध्ये इफेक्ट होईलच, म्हणजे बदल होतात. मग जे काही आता प्रेझेंट टोटॅलिटी आहे तिच्यावरती आपण परत मेडिसिन सिलेक्ट करणार. मग आता यावेळी आपण समजा त्याच्यामध्ये सेपिया सिलेक्ट केली मेडिसिन, तर सेपिया सिलेक्ट केली तर यावेळी मग परत आपण बघितलं सेपिया दिल्याच्या नंतर परत काय झालं की थोडे सिमटम गेले, थोडे नवीन सिमटम आले, पण पूर्ण रिकव्हरी झाली नाही आहे, पेशंट पूर्णपणे क्युअर झाला नाही आहे. तर त्या कंडिशनमध्ये आपण काय करणार, परत थोडे दिवस वेट अँड वॉच करणार, त्याचा इफेक्ट संपेपर्यंत सेपियाचा, परत रिटेक केस टेकिंग करणार. आणि केस टेकिंग म्हणजे जी काय प्रेझेंट टोटॅलिटी आहे त्याच्यावरती रिकेस टेकिंग करून परत मेडिसिन सिलेक्ट करणार. आणि परत त्याला मग जे काही मेडिसिन दिले मग त्याने जर कंप्लीट क्युअर झाली तर ठीक आहे, नाही तर मग परत ही प्रोसिजर आपण कुठपर्यंत करणार आहे, दॅट इज टिल कंप्लीट क्युअर ऑकर इन अ पेशंट. सो दिस इज गिवन इन ॲफोरिझम नंबर 184. कळालंय सगळ्यांना?
हॅलो
हा, कळालंय का सगळ्यांना?
मॅम,
हा
मला
येस
एक
मॅम.
विचारायचं होतं.
हा, विचार ना.
ते ॲफोरिझम बद्दल नाही
हा, बोल ना.
असते, कारण की टाइम टेबल येणार होता ना, मग आलेलाच आहे, येणार काय. मग असं ऑनलाईन क्लास सोबतच चालणार, मग सेकंड इयर थर्ड इयर करायचंय का, म्हणजे मला डाऊट होता असं.
त्याचे काहीच आम्हाला नोटिफिकेशन दिले नाही आहेत आणखी कॉलेजवाल्यांनी काय करायचे काय नाही. जोपर्यंत ते सांगत नाही तोपर्यंत आम्हाला लेक्चर घ्यावेच लागतील.
मॅम दिवसभर लेक्चर चालू आहे, अभ्यासाला टाइमच भेटत नाही आम्हाला.
मग तुम्ही सरांना सांगा ना तसं. आम्हाला आणखी काही सांगितलं नाहीये त्यांनी तसं.
केलेले बरे.
सरांना सांगण्यापेक्षा लेक्चर करतो.